gonna find out anyway. Let's jump into the draft. Hey,
We'll get to see it first.
We're third series in. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Dangerous grass.
Dangerous grass. See?
Yeah.
I was right.
I said dangerous grass. You said big up.
Because I was told to. Dangerous grass. Game 1. Baksha, Guinevere banned out. Kalea. There goes the Hilda, and there goes the Hylos. What is Twisted Minds going for? I'm going to guess a Valentina.
Aurora can't ban the Valentina. I think they'd rather get either the Valentina or Juicin, so they'll keep one of those open.
Yep.
Unless Twisted Minds are going to be one of those teams that think, okay, even with the Sora open, they'll pick up Juicin. But nah, it's like at this point, if Sora's open, you prio Sora. But only if Valentina isn't open.
Oh, it reminds me. Isn't like Kimmy gonna be a very contested pick here too? Yue has been using the Kimmy a lot. Sean specializes in the Kimmy a lot.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the panel earlier.
Yep.
So, and I like how you're seeing a lot of respect here. Twisted Minds are respecting the high loss of light.
Whoa! Even the phobias of Lansu.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a pure Lansu respect. So wide pool here. Again, I'm the Valentina guy here.
Yep.
Unless I don't even see it being worth it to pick up the Claude because there's a Harith for Domikite who's very comfortable with that matchup.
Okay. It becomes the Freya.
Right. Okay. Yeah, since that is an option also for Domikite and Aurora. So now they're overloaded with options. And there's only so much a lineup with a Sora can do up against the Freya. So Freya will be going to the hands of Owl. He showed this up when he was still with Guangzhou Gaming in the M7 World Championship.
Right.
So now I think this is where we see hopefully a Sora show up unless Aurora want to pick up a different EXP laner.
Yeah.
But I don't want to give... If I'm Aurora, I don't want to see Sora and Freya on the same side. But they're willing to, okay.
Okay, interesting that they go this route. But this is like standard for the most part. You get the Fredrin, you get the Jushin. These are 2 power picks. Gives you control in the jungle. We also talked and seen how this is played out when it is utility right now in the current meta. Obviously, Assassins can still work. Harley's going to be picked up since that was open, and that's what we expect, and they're going to give the Khalid a go. So either we see the Harley maintain his 100% win rate, but maybe this balances out, by the way, Brigitte, because we talked about how hard of a time Khalid has had.
Yeah.
Well, now you're on a squad where Freya's been typically banned out, but then you also get the Harley in the jungle.
Yeah.
So this might actually work in favor, though, because of Twisted's first 3 picks. As long as the Khalid doesn't have a bad start or get too far behind, and you can actually play with this Freya, because Freya we have seen banned out constantly.
Yeah, because he'll get a lot of help. And it's not like he has to be the guy to just immediately show up first. There could be like some pokes brought to us by the Harley towards certain members. Looking at the carry and the Juicin specifically that Aurora have chosen to reveal in the first phase. So they left their XP and Roam pick for second phase.
Yep. We still have the Valentina Sora trades active with the mid lane, unless Twisted Minds are doing something crazy with a mid Harley instead, and then a unique jungle pick, but I don't see that happening really. This Freya might also be going into the EXP lane. You can adjust it depending on the matchup. Oh, that's... Wow, that's very too close. We know that guy. Oh no, okay.
I thought I saw that.
Yeah, he was just coughing. Okay.
All right. Well, we already got to see the lookalike of Super Marco. Oh.
That's light and a brownout.
And a what?
And a brownout. We will not let him know that we called him that.
All right.
Yo, but the man there on your left, I'm gonna say this now, one of the biggest W's of a dude I know. That is our great Lord Reggie.
Yeah. Big shout outs. Big ups, Reggie.
Big ups, Reggie.
Big ups, Reggie. Okay, so we were talking about the mid lane trade. Now I think Twisted Minds Zetian, right? Don't forget the Zetian.
Zetian.
Either the Zetian or maybe the Kimmy, but the thing is they need a little bit more crowd control that the Zetian can provide, unless Twisted Minds want to bring out something unique. Well, if ever you see a gap closer for Aurora that's a little bit slower at red 4, hey, bring out the surprise. Bring out Aurora against Aurora.
Wow. Respect bans here and there, even the Grok coming through for last.
Big respect because, again, you want to go ahead and play around this Fredrin and the Jushin, and Jushin alone already gives so much support to the Fredrin.
Yeah.
So then, like, you're thinking about what can Light pick up here. Right now, they go with the Sora, so they save the roam option right now. This is still a whole lot of crowd control and damage, like that too. That they can go ahead and utilize in the XP lane.
Either they keep that Freya in the XP or then they put in a R-Lot here. But then they're lacking bodies. Okay, so they... Oh! You get the gourd!
Oh, boy!
Oh, he gets his gourd! Hey! He gets his gourd!
Nice stood up.
Nice's actually dapping the entire table.
Let's go! Big ups! Big ups!
Big ups, guys! Big ups!
All right, I'm gonna sit back down.
Wait, because I remember the gourd being a common response to the Fredrins back in the day, but
so see, we're just a lot of throwbacks, but then with the presence of the Sora, I don't know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, that's true. And the choke.
And okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gourd.
Oh my gourd.
say it, oh my gourd.
Oh my gourd. Super Vance. Want to win 1,000 MLBD diamonds? Predict the match winner right now, and if that's not Twisted Minds,
hey!
I don't know what. No, I'm joking. Scan the QR code to know more. Get a chance to win 1,000 diamonds. I know there's another big Gourd fan out there too. All right, there is. There's another big Gourd fan out there. I hope he's getting a chance to watch this because finally, once again, in Season 17, we get to see Gourd.
I just gotta say, he's probably torn between being the Demon Kite guy or the Gourd guy right now.
Oh man, it's been difficult, man. It's been difficult. Because I was thinking that we wouldn't see him because maybe Haji played him or Few, but Few's not here anymore. There's not that many Gourd players in the league.
I like this. True damage, Twisted Minds. They needed something sturdy and they explained glue.
Yep.
You know what? I see the vision here, Twisted.
Yeah.
And it's not just because of the lineup rating. I appreciate the creativity. Let's see how they can make this work.
Creativity gets rewarded, as they say.
Dude, this is not the dark continent. This is the right continent. All right, welcome. Because here's one thing I will say about this, and I have done this in practice. Whoa, Kaloy. Okay, he should be fine. Typical start for Khalid. That's fine. But MP the King on the Harley and the Gourd actually will work synergistically really well together because you even heard it from Carl TZ earlier on with a winning interview. That Genius One alone on the Harley is so good. So you already go ahead and get that first item. It allows Sean to actually pop off more damage because of that Genius One build on the Harley. So unless that's stopped, they might have a difficult time dealing with that kind of overload damage for this lineup from Twisted.
Yeah, and it's the athletic Gourd with the flicker. Kaloy taking way too much. Yeah, good thing for Kaloy is that the long time readjustment for the juice in, you can just continuously putting stacks on people. If that was any different, then it would have been more difficult. But in the end, it is going to be difficult to handle the mid lane trading for the Khalid. You're just going to have to hunker down if you're Twisted Minds. You're not going to be able to get a lot of aggressive plays unless MP the King finds a good angle to Deadly Magic someone, either Light or you early on. 20 seconds before the next turtle spawns. Tough boots already for Kaloy should help him survive a little bit of the trades. Let's look at which EXP leader is going to hit level 4 first. Looks like it might be Edward actually. But now in the bottom lane, Owl cutting behind the carry because this is what Alter Ego loves to do. They'll cut this and then they're going to ask Owl most likely to join the turtle fight, but let's see if he's just going to temper it and play it slow in the lane.
I think Sean had a bit of a
there he is.
swap in terms of the items he prioritized. He didn't seem to be picking up the boots earlier, but now we see almost all members right here across the turtle pit. Factory Descent coming in from Appraiser's Rat also coming in, but it's MP who actually secures the turtle. And Sean with the Mystic Gush picking up first blood. Edward flickering out, still brought back. MP the King takes him down.
I just want to say first blood Gourd over to Sean.
Yeah, it's not just the Gourd with a Mystic Gush. Nice, who's gushing too with excitement. Seeing his signature pick here, but again, we saw it from the cut of Owl. We knew that he was going to go to the turtle. He joined that. That was 5v4. That's just simple maths. 5v4. Win that.
Our camera's giving us the zoom in on the Patrick right there.
They're doing that on purpose, right?
Yeah, no, but I get your point here too, Renmar, and that's one of the things. Imagine if the timing was a little bit different on that too. He didn't have the level 4 either for that turtle fight to break out, but he had it right at the end.
Kaloy makes a call, and MP's there to follow. That's a flicker from Sean just to extend the range of the Mystic Gush. They're still trying to go after Demon Kite. Another flicker burned, and that might just get punished here. Kaloy will try to get out of this. He does not get knocked up. He jumps back in, but Demon Kite will pick up the kill.
That's how you get punished if you get a little overzealous there, Kaloy.
Yeah, unfortunately also for Kaloy, the stun from Sean did not land, with just a little bit off to the right of Yue. Hence why the punish onto the Khalid. So, again, you pointed it out, that Gord Harley damage is disgusting.
Yeah, and imagine he doesn't even have the Genius Wand yet. Now he does.
Yeah.
Okay, now he does.
Yeah, and yeah, they set up for each other. It's like, again, a throwback to having a magic damage jungler and then strong mage in the mid lane. They set up for one another depending who builds the Genius Wands first, usually the jungler, because that also applies to any magic damage that gets dealt with the reduction of the magic defense. So cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then he goes Glowing Wand first. To help with some of that sustainability that comes up with this lineup. So now we're going to see this fight, this time maybe be set up a little bit different around this turtle here. We'll see if gold laners decide to join this. It does look like Owl's coming up.
Oh, Owl Knight. Oh, that's the way of the dragon already used. Edward zoning out some other members, but Kaloy is still alive! Demon Kite this time, though, gets the objective, but it's Owl trying to go for the chase, and Demon Kite does not get out of this.
Okay, turtle secured, though. And that's a whole lot of gold to Domin Kite.
Oh.
That is going to be the trade here. The Aurora are not going to be calling up their carry to join the Turtles. They just want gold for Doming. And this is as expected with a Freya carry matchup or any matchup in the gold lane that is Freya versus a marksman. Freya will leave lane, sacrificing the gold that he could be getting in the lane because they want to get that through the kills and objectives. The fortunate thing for Aurora in the last one is that it was actually Demon Kite who won the Retribution battle, as the early use of the Deadly Magics was not enough to take down Edward, meaning Edward was still disruptive to the sequence of Twisted Minds. So the Twisted also just need to mark some conditions properly here, because in the last one it was Aurora who were able to do that. However, the difficult thing about the lineup that they're going up against is that they'll keep feeling the presence of the Freya. So far, especially as we've seen from the last one, Aurora are managing their flickers and their dashaways pretty well. The last time we saw this was in the grand finals of Season 13. 671. I'm not saying it, days ago. It was few against Team Liquid Philippines.
That's what I said, man. One of the few players, pun intended, to pick up the gourd. And there is a reason for it. I mean, right now, we definitely have been talking about how it works well with the Harley. And it might be just the only composition where he actually fits into this, but it's really difficult in the current meta. Domin Kite.
Oh, already flickering out, but the other members of Aurora are going to help. Raging Sandstorm used to get out, and so will be the Valkyrie Descent. Edward could have went for a setup there, but at least Twisted Minds are still okay.
Yeah, no kick committal by Light. I thought he'd be looking for an angle.
Same.
Because of Aurora trying to bait Owl into getting taken out, good thing Aloy was there for Twisted Minds to cover him. MP the King actually gets a tower up top. So with a lot of the mobility on the side of Twisted, the map presence of the jungler and gold laner being felt, Aurora are slowly losing the map control. But they might be able to fight this better because Owl was brought low by Domin Kite, excuse me.
Oh, Kaloy! Does he really want to fight against Domin Kite? A miscalculation on Twisted Mind's side, and Aurora will secure this last turtle.
I think Kaloy forgot how much a carry hurts.
Yeah.
And Domin Kite's just been farming up, so Domin Kite is in a great position to just fight even a 1v1.
Yeah, even if you say that was Kaloy trying to buy time, maybe for the rest of the team, that was definitely not worth it. You gave a kill onto Doming. And now Twisted Minds have lost their early game window to dominate. They're going to have to play 50-50s all throughout.
Oh, everyone, they just poured all of their resources, and there's a flicker too. Sean is still going to be okay. No one's going to connect with the Way of the Dragon, but it doesn't matter for Aurora. They're already able to take down Kaloy, and they have access to this tier 1 in mid.
Great positioning from Light to decide to go towards the backside. He actually forced Sean to use the flicker, and then he was a threat enough, even on MP, as he kicked him, buying enough time for Aurora just to go ahead and win that team fight.
Yeah, big errors are now getting capitalized on by Aurora. Although for the last fight initiated by Twisted Minds, that wasn't an error in their part. That was a good call. But you just really have to admit that Aurora played that much better. Demon Kite was calm, even though Lancer was the one able to pounce on him. Aurora separated that glue from the rest of the team. Even though Lancer was able to get away, Twisted Minds could not get any result that they wanted to get.
Yeah. It's twisted all over the map now. You can't go for your surprise plays anymore. It's Aurora that are first to show up.
Yeah. So quickly how this game turned around. Al just up to 2 items. Dominkite with an EXP advantage to him. And he is almost up to the Trinity, already up to the Golden Staff and the Corrosion Scythe. So now it's just going to be up to Twisted to see how they can manage the team fights against Aurora better, because so far Dominkite has a lot of space.
Yeah.
Even though you get the Gush to come through, it's just a one flicker or one dash away.
Yeah.
And then that's fine. They have a very strong stalwart, or 2 of them actually, in the Sora and the Fredrin to hold the line to make sure that Dominkite has proper peel and then he can freely hit. So Twisted Minds need to find a good equation in the team fight.
Yeah, a couple Radiant Armor is picked up here. Edward's got that now too. DHS locked in, so the Trinity for Dominkite. That's how he's been able to go ahead and farm up. So they have control around this Lord right now. Charm will pick up a Divine Glaive. We'll see if they can actually stop Aurora from taking this. Whoa, Yue!
Yue uses the Crimson Beacon. Oh my goodness.
That's a huge ultimate down though for Aurora.
Yeah, but also for Twisted, it depends on how fast the Deadly Magic can be back in time. But they can't also pounce on this. The minion wave's not just there yet for them. They can't capitalize on it. Edward's managing it in mid. They can't get a push in bot. MP the King still needs to get his buff, so it's just a big reset in the end.
That's what we were talking about the last in our last series, or the first series of the day, when we saw the Harley come through. Like, just a Deadly Magic alone is enough to go ahead and stop some teams in their tracks. And you saw it just there. Also, UA will pick up a Sky Piercer now after having that first item, that glowing wand.
Yeah, similar to how it was the Brody for Omega earlier, now it's the carry for Aurora. But at the same time, because of, as you just mentioned, the Sky Piercer for Yue, they also have to be careful not to get stacks on this juice in. So Aurora actually secretly has 2 options, even though their lineup looks like it's only playing for 1.
Oh, they want to commit.
Conceal from Light. He catches MP the King, but MP the King is going to be okay with his spaces. Edward with a 3-man setup. Kaloy falls down next. MP the King. He's on the other side. He could not contest. And Demon Kite finds him, but can he escape? Yue shuts him down.
Yue knew where he was going. There's no tricks here.
That is now stacks for that juice in. And Twisted did everything right, but they just could not get Dominkite. And of course, the beautiful entry by Edward. Should be frustrating for Twisted after that initial start. They've lost every major sequence since then.
Yep, this is looking grim here for Twisted. They do have a pretty good clear with this base defense, but right now Aurora waiting for that Lord to march in. They deal with the Holy Defense Shields already. Let's see what they decide to do. Light, just trying to test in the waters. The Lord will run and charge down to the bottom side. Demon Kai also jumps in, but a Mystic Gush will clear things out, and they should deal with the Lord here before the turret falls.
Okay, so actually when it comes to trying to end the game, because of the Gord, it might be difficult for Twisted Minds in the long run. They might be able to drag this out a lot if they have good numbers.
Okay, well, it's another conceal from Light. They should be aware.
Light has no flicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the hard parts too. Your Dominkite is your range, and he just doesn't have that much range on the carry. So they can't continue to get that turret.
Yeah, he is going for the last... actually, no, he's not going to be his last item. He's rushing the Malefic Gun for 4th. So that he does get the range that we have pointed out he is lacking. For Twisted, they just completely lost their early to mid-game window a long time ago. They're just really playing through the defense. The beauty of the Harley pick is, of course, you can just send MP the King out, see if he can just surprise Dominkite or Yue and build yourself an advantage. Why not have enough to completely take down Edward, who might be the next in terms of priority? Even Light cannot be single-handedly taken down by MP the King. He will need help from the rest of Twisted Minds. Just listing down here some potential turnaround conditions for Twisted through the Harley.
It's going to be tough if it's another similar situation to what we saw from TNC earlier, wherein you have a certain setup or a sequence that you should follow. And in this lineup of Twisted Minds, it seems to be the supposedly connection between the 2 mages of MP the King and Sean. But even before they're able to accomplish that, they have to worry about the setups again from Edward, or Light just suddenly comes going in. And I think it's tough for Twisted Minds to pull off a similar play, because Kaloy well, there is a Flicker reaching Sandstorm setup, but then how could the others just confidently follow up? Because that'll expose a lot of the back lines.
Exactly. Yeah, this is also one of those games for Twisted. If that was 3 turtles to none, it would have looked completely different at Lord 1. But they just didn't get that. And then this is why earlier it still holds true. Twisted Minds have this great lineup for burst. They have great damage, but there's just so much tankiness on the side of Aurora that they have to find a way somehow to break this formation that's just so good, whether it's tight or split up.
Oh, the Lord's getting bursted down already. Dominkite secures it for the team. Light's already low, but look at Yue! He tries to take down Sean. Successfully does, but he will go down too. MP the King outplaying Light, and Al White just gets to survive. But no! Dominkite still had the Appraiser's Wrath.
Bumped down by the Fragrant and Demon Kite, letting Al know. Nice try trying to take down Edward.
You don't touch a celebrity.
You don't. Perfect flicker forward by Yue with a Crimson Beacon up. Skypiercer still impact, forcing Twisted Minds to go back every time that Juicin goes forward.
I loved the genius there from Yue to go ahead and just say, you know what? Here I am, here's my beacon, focus on me. That gave so much pressure to the back line where, it didn't have to just be Light or Edward to do that. So that was just a great choice of utilizing the beacon. Lord's going to charge in, take out that bottom base turret, and now Aurora finds themselves getting ready to march through the mid and possibly the top, managing these waves that are going to be pushing in.
Yeah, Twisted really just have to hunker down, hold the fort. Even a BFB for Demon Kite.
They're sinking the waves.
Yeah, gonna be really difficult to take that Fredrin down, who's been the main guy to hold the line for Aurora. Hence why Dominkite has no deaths. Force the Mystic Gush out. Skypiercer for Sean, so they're hoping for a miracle now to get a big swing. You do see the math. True damage, Skypiercer could be good. Let's all look back at the instant replay. So see, look how free Dominkite was. So much attention pulled by the front line of Aurora that it was actually mainly through the carry that they were able to take it down. The perfect flicker forward. Yue was able to get 2 up, and then in the end it was just a futile attempt by Owl. Bonk.
Yeah. Could have been better if the space escape wasn't there for MP, because I think Yue thought it was just Sean. If it was, if he just got to isolate Sean, then he could have probably still survived that. But okay, now we're seeing still 50 seconds before the next Lord. Twisted Minds are gonna have such a hard time trying to even catch up in terms of farm at this point.
Yeah, they just want to basically have these successful base defenses until they actually win a decisive fight on the defense. Now, if we basically wait for that Lord to come up and find themselves in this position again, it's going to be more so the same thing. You can see that too. Yue went with a little bit of magic resistance. He picked up a Radiant Armor because he's most likely going to try to emulate what he did last time. He's going to throw himself forward, and even so with Light, you know, Light's going to be trying to do the same thing. He's got a good mix of the physical defense, also the magic resistance, but it's more so of like, if he's able to get the Way of the Dragon off, that might be mission accomplished for Light, and the rest of the team kind of just has to be there to clean up and finish the job at that point. So Lord is up now. Aurora's going to go ahead and try to take some buffs or put some pressure there where they can, and they'll rotate down to the Lord. Edward cuts off this side of the map because he knows that's one of the angles they fought out in the previous fight. But Aurora will still take their time with this because that's one thing. They know that Twisted has to fight frontal here. Look at the positioning from Light.
Yeah.
We've seen this before.
Winter Crown pickup for Yue as well.
For Yue, for Doming,
Light swinging
for
around.
Edward. That's 3 Winter Crowns on the side of Aurora.
Oh, Light. Did he get spotted out? Did Sean see him?
Typical Light plays from even when he was still in RSG. He loved finding these weird angles like this.
They're pushing it. Conceal used. He's going for MP.
Yep. The call is to go for MP as Demon Kite takes the objective. Another setup from Edward, bringing multiple members of Twisted Minds towards Aurora. It's MP and Sean who's taken down first. The knockups on Owl. He's not able to do anything. It's only Lansu and Kaloy.
Aurora on the way, and I think this is game.
They have access to the base, and that's all Dominkite needs to do. They have their minions, and they will get this game.
It was a good start for Twisted. You saw the idea. But as we mentioned in the panel, creative as you can get in terms of your lineups, good old basic fundamentals trumps it every single day.
Sad and gourd tears, you know, but the writing was on the wall, and there it is. That is a Raider play from Light that we've seen so many times. Little throwback there, but I'll say this: they're world champions for a reason. Aurora knows how to adjust, knows how to play the timings here. Hello, Reggie. And again, it was a rough start in the early game because you have that power spike in the magic department for you. But yeah, there was a couple mistakes from Kaloy, of course, getting caught out a bit, trying to make plays himself, and then eventually Aurora just adjusts to this, and they know how things are going to play out here. And this was, again, showcasing just how smart Aurora is when they play the map, when they play to their advantage, and they know how to end games where they need to. They waited a little bit to see if there would be a continued pressure from Twisted Minds, and they made the play around the Lord take. So none other MVP gonna be UA. Look at that lantern. Oh yeah.
Please do the flicker too. Oh, never mind. But yeah, it's we were talking about the Dark Continent. We got to see a bit of it, but against such a team who are just so fundamentally near perfect and clean in terms of execution, Aurora definitely found their way around it. Although it looked like there were a lot of moments wherein Twisted did feel like they were a bit too excited, especially in terms of like what Kaloy tried to do across the map when he went for the invades, or even those gaps towards Dominkai.
Yeah, clearly there were some errors as well capitalized on by Aurora, as we pointed out earlier in the cast. You also have to commend Aurora and how they handled the Turtle 2 onwards.
Yeah.
Twisted really needed to win this Turtle. I really thought that they'd win it here, but MP the King wasn't even able to get his retribution off. They thought they could get the kills. They did get a kill there onto Demon Kite, but after that, Aurora still looked fine. A slight lead for Twisted. This is the mishap. I think it was here that things started to go wrong. Al failed the duel against Dominkai, which pulled Kaloy, and then ever since then, it's like Twisted could not find their footing in any of the objectives. It completely lost their flow. So it's, again, for the side of Twisted, it's frustrating despite the early start that they had. Even though they lost Turtle 2, they got some kills through Demon Kite. The Aurora lineup is just so solid and stable, playing through the Fredrin. Again, going back to basics, XP fighter, jungle, tank fighter, and then you have a marksman. Put that all together, wrapped up in the pretty bow with juicing and the show in the Roman mid, then your creativity after you've lost all that momentum will just suffer.
Yeah.
You know what else suffered?
What?
The win rate of Harley.
Oh yeah.
All right.
It's not 100% anymore.
Yeah, that's the first loss for Harley.
That's the first loss
And Gord.
for Harley. Yeah,
But that's his first appearance too, anyway.
You know,
Yeah, can't help but think that Twisted Minds probably didn't really expect the possibility of this kind of like roam for Aurora as well, because they went heavy on the rock and like the more front to back, tanky kind of roamers, but they failed to take into account that these are the kinds of roamers that will really destroy your formation, because it relies so much on the positionings for both the Gord and the Harley. So
yeah. It's one of those rare times too that you really didn't feel the glue as much very quickly. Of course, early on the impact of the glue evident.
Yeah.
But then once things just looked like it was slightly leaning towards Aurora, it felt like the glue was a non-presence. Every time Lancer would get a lash onto someone, it really didn't affect the team fight. Aurora just played around it. Yue would go forward, or Edward would go forward. Dominkai just staying happily in the back. They take down whoever wants to help the glue, and then suddenly Lancer is left behind, and he's forced to either end his grab early or just force his flicker to get out. So it's starting to sound like a very consistent analytical point here, wherein Aurora just executed and played this so well. With everything that Twisted threw at them in the early game, they readjusted, and as you mentioned, Nishu, showed off why they're world champs for a reason.
Yeah, it's that's the breakdown for game